I wanted to do a brief video on diversionary tactics issued by paleo enthusiasts. There's a couple that come to mind. I just had one recently. I was going to send a comment back to this guy, and I can't find him, so I thought I'd do a video on it. It's the kind of stuff you would have seen in Lear Keith's book, where she used to be a vegan, and then she gave up being vegan, and she has some reasons which are debatable for why she did that. And some of the arguments that these folks make are like, when you have a grain growing farm, when you produce that grain, there could be little animals in the that live in the grasses, which are killed when the grain is harvested. So like mice or birds or things like that. Another argument is the growing of bananas is an ecological nightmare, and therefore we should be more concerned with banana production than with cattle production. Well, while there's truth to the fact that industrial agriculture, like banana production, is not ideal, it's not anywhere near comparable to the damage caused by animal production for animal foods. And the same is true with this, yes, there's probably small animals in some of the grain produced, but it's nothing, it doesn't do anything, it's not comparable in terms of environmental damage, and then also health and ethics of broad-based, large-scale animal harvesting, like cattle. So, I pulled up a little bit of data on this. Here's a pie chart showing causes of deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon from 2000 to 2005. Cattle ranching took up 65 to 70% of the deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon. Small-scale agriculture took up 20 to 25%. Large-scale agriculture, which would be like bananas or other large-scale crops, 5 to 10%. Then they had logging, 2 to 3%, other 1 to 2%. In other words, cattle ranching, 65 to 70%. Large-scale agriculture, like the kind criticized by paleo enthusiasts, 5 to 10%. So, should we really be worried as worried about bananas as we should about cattle? Cattle ranching takes up 65 to 70% of the deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon. Large-scale agriculture, 5 to 10%. I'm not saying all large-scale agricultural practices are pristine and to be glorified. They probably should be looked into and improved to the degree possible. But, we're not going to stop large-scale agriculture. We have to feed the planet. I mean, if everybody starts growing enough food in their backyard that we can stop large-scale agriculture, fantastic. I don't see that happening. But to suggest that large-scale agriculture is the real problem and not cattle ranching or the insane demand for animal products in people's diets, that is the problem. And often these paleo arguments, they only address one issue, and they don't even address that accurately. It's a misguiding, misleading form of it's a misdirection. And it's a false dichotomy. It's just absurd to compare the production of bananas to the deforestation caused by the raising of cattle. It's like you're comparing something tiny to something huge. It's a huge misdirection. So be honest, be intellectually honest when you're making these comments. And if you're gonna try and justify meat eating, you're going to have to address all three aspects of animal ethics, health to the individual, and the environmental damage. All three of these have to be addressed. So oftentimes with these animal eating proponents, they only address one. They're usually saying something like, well, it's not that environmentally damaging. And then there's this thing of, we need cattle to have the right kind of soil. This is totally inaccurate. I was just reading the other day about grass-fed beef and how it causes more CO2, more methane than beef that's grown in enclosed spaces. So it's more environmentally damaging due to the fact that cattle who are grass-fed need more water and they produce more methane. So they're just shallow arguments that if you just look under the surface, they have no merit. So get your facts straight, paleo folks, and really, try to present a full, complete argument. And you can't. You can't. These things are undeniable. The amounts of water consumed for cattle ranching are astronomical. And as we have this drought occurring in California, soon to be occurring elsewhere, who knows how much it's already occurring in third world countries, in the Middle East, that sort of thing. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. We've got to shift to agriculture. And yeah, if you can make the large-scale agriculture more environmentally friendly, kick ass. Do that too. If you can grow all fruit trees and live off fruit, do that too. But in terms of comparing potatoes to cattle ranching, there's no comparison. Potatoes are much better for the planet, for your body, and it totally eliminates the ethical issue of killing sentient beings when you grow potatoes. You don't have to kill sentient beings when you eat potatoes. Thanks for listening, folks. I got this graph on the Brazilian deforestation from mongabay.com. That's mongabay.com. So keep up the good work, vegans. Talk to y'all later.